Hey, it's Randy from Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to show you the actual cost for $10,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 67-year-old male. Now, first thing you need to understand is you can go directly to our website at funeralfunds.com, and we've got these quotas on just about every page. Just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Click the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the lowest rates. And what that will help you do is avoid those policies that are super expensive. And a lot of times that's the ones that advertise the super low teaser rates that they try to get you to call in on a really low number. And then you find out it's hardly any coverage at all. And then they try to upsell you with really expensive coverage, and you'll be able to price shop that out and find out exactly what the best deal for you is. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you in person as well, get quotes and help you understand your eligibility. Now, the first thing you need to ask yourself as a 67-year-old male looking for $10,000 is that going to be enough coverage for your final expense needs? Now, that would typically be a cremation or a burial. So if you're looking at getting cremated, the actual cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's if you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to be cremated and have a ceremony, it's going to be probably between $3,500 and $4,500. So we would typically recommend, in most cases, that if you're looking for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn, is get between $5,000 to $7,000 worth of coverage. And if you're going to have that ceremony in the cremation, maybe between $7,000 to $10,000. And we're actually over-insuring a little bit right off the start because we don't know when you're going to pass away. We want to make sure that we include enough money in there that if you live another 10, 20 years, we've got that covered with inflation. So what ends up happening is if, God forbid, you did die sooner than you thought, there'd be a little bit extra money left over to help pay with some kind of minor expenses, final expenses, medical bills, stuff like that. But also, if you are blessed to live a long time, there's enough insurance that you're not going to have to worry about adding more coverage in the future. And you basically just got a lifetime solution taken care of. So some people would say, well, I might want to get $30,000 or $40,000. And when we ask them why, it's like, I want to leave some money to my kids. Typically, we don't recommend that unless you've got the financial means to do so. Most people we work with are on a fixed or limited income, and most of them can't afford $30,000 or $40,000. And it would be terrible to say, hey, if I can't get $40,000, I'm not going to do anything at all, because then your kids get stuck or your family gets stuck with the bill. So kind of the most important rule on this is have insurance when you pass away. That way your family's protected. Just get what you can afford right now. If you need more, we can always add more later. Now, for a burial, that's going to be right around $10,000. That's the average cost right now in the United States for a burial. So most funeral homes, if you walk in there with a $10,000 check right now, they'll get it done. It's not going to be anything fancy, by the way, but it's hard to imagine that they would say no to that, let that $10,000 check walk out the door and go down to their competition just down the street. So, but yeah, if you're 67, that covers you right now, more or less, but what if you live to 77 or 87? That's not going to be enough coverage then. So we would typically recommend somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000, maybe $20,000. But again, if money's tight, get the $10,000. We can always look at adding $5,000 later, or whatever it would be needed. But that at least gets you protected right away, as long as it's first day coverage. And we always recommend first day coverage or benefits. That's the only thing we help people with at Funeral Funds of America. So what that means is that if hypothetically, if your policy was approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay that off, even if you've only made one payment and only lived one day. That's definitely the best coverage out there. You 100% want to avoid the 2-year waiting period policies for sure. I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. A lot of people would say, I like that coverage, but I know they ask health questions and I'm not in the best of health, so I'm not sure I qualify. To which we say, hey, your health issues are our problem, not your problem. That's why we work with so many different insurance companies, that they all ask different health questions and they all have different underwriting. And really 95% of the time we're getting people first day coverage or benefits. The only reason we wouldn't be able to get you first day coverage or benefits would be if you had some really significant health issues going on, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you were going to pass away in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you were on dialysis, or you're in a hospital or a nursing home. If something like that existed, we'd probably refer you to a different insurance company. The other thing that happens, seems like on a weekly basis, is somebody will call up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week and they didn't have insurance. We don't have any money. And now their body's at the funeral home. The funeral director's not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. And we need to get this insurance really quickly so we can get a check in our hand to get that check to the funeral home director. And we have to tell them that unfortunately, there's no insurance company in the United States that's going to issue a policy on somebody who's already dead. That's not the way this insurance works. Don't be silly. You probably knew that, but you got to get this insurance while you're actually alive. So just get it now. Get it while you can afford it and while it's available. Now, let's talk about the 2-year waiting period, because we don't recommend 2-year waiting periods at all. Now, Colonial Penn is kind of one of the more well-known insurance companies out there. Their $9.95 plan is a 2-year waiting period. And yeah, you didn't know that, but you know, the reason Colonial Penn's pretty well known is they're advertising all the time on TV for that $9.95 plan. Seems like they got a commercial playing every 7 minutes. But it is a 2-year waiting period. And there's other companies out there too, like Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG Gerber. You know, they all have 2-year waiting periods. A bunch of other companies too you probably wouldn't recognize have 2-year waiting periods. And a lot of these companies have done a really good job of convincing the American public that the only thing they'll qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we say, ha, 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 ha. Don't believe such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, male age 67 would probably look at that Colonial Penn commercial and say, oh my gosh, you know, for $9.95, I can probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then they talk with a Colonial Penn agent, or they get online like we have done here on their website and find out that 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, is only going to pay out $802. Now, $802, I'm not sure that's even enough to cover cremation anywhere in the United States. So why would you get a policy that's not going to cover your needs? You know, especially since it's not even going to cover it now, but this policy's got a 2-year waiting period. So it's not going to pay out for 2 years anyway if you die of a health or medical reason. So why would you do that? I don't know. What's $802 going to pay? It's not going to do the job, especially if you want a burial, right? And that's kind of what we're looking at, like maybe $10,000. Let's see how much that's going to be now. Colonial Penn, you can't buy $10,000 on the nose for a 67-year-old male because they have per unit pricing, not coverage amount pricing. So when they've got per unit pricing, you end up with these wackadoodle numbers like $802. You know, I guess the $2 was important, but let's guess maybe 11 units. No, that's 8,822. Can't get a normal number. 12 units. 96, there we go, 13 units. Okay, I guess like 10,426. That's probably as close as we're going to get. That's $130. Now, you might be wondering if that's a good deal or not. Let's go check that against first day coverage. So we've got $10,000 here. We've got a male, age 67. Let's go click get quote. We're going to come back again. This is roughly $10,000. Roughly $10,000 for $130. We come over here. Look at this. We can actually get this company here, Trinity Life Insurance Company. We work with them. Terrific company. We get first day approvals with them right over the phone. Level coverage, which means first day coverage. But look at that. $59 versus $129. So this is roughly $60 versus roughly $130. So Colonial Penn looks to be over 200% more expensive for the same amount of coverage, but Colonial Penn will stick you with that 2-year waiting period, and Colonial Penn will allow you to overpay, again, $60 to $130, $70. They're going to allow you to overpay $70 a month for the rest of your life. So $70 a month times 12 months, that's $840 a year. If you live an extra 10 years to age 77 as a male, you would end up overspending right around $8,400 by going with Colonial Penn, and you'd only have $10,426 worth of coverage. Why on earth would you overpay and overspend that much when you could get first day coverage for half the cost? It makes no sense. Yeah, be a smart shopper. Reach out to us. We can help you be a smart shopper. There's other companies out here too. Let's look at some other ones here. You'll be able to see all these different insurance companies when you look at our quoter. Oh, here's one. Like Lincoln Heritage. They're a fine company, I guess. I mean, their price is higher. Yikes. It is level coverage, so first day coverage. But yeah, their price is higher. They've got a program where when you pass away, they'll supposedly call 2-3 different funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things. And, but they charge a premium for that. That's not free. This is roughly $77. We're going to round up $77 versus roughly $60. So $17 more a month times 12 months is $204. So if you live another 10 years, you're going to overspend roughly $2,040 more by going with Lincoln Heritage. And a lot of people would say that, paying an insurance company over $2,000 just to call 2 or 3 funeral homes and maybe do a couple other things that might take an hour or so, would tend to agree. We would rather see you keep that $2,000 in your own pocket instead of giving that to an insurance company. Now, what we do at Funeral Funds of America is we've got a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you can download that off our website, print it out, and just fill it out. Who gets what goes where, and just fill out exactly what you want done after you're gone. And then you just keep that with your insurance policy. And that way, when you pass away, your family, loved ones, children, all they have to do is just execute your wishes. Just do what you said in the funeral and estate planning guide. And they'll be able to do that with the money that you've provided with the insurance policy. So you provide them with peace of mind, both financially and emotionally. And what a wonderful gift to them, knowing that you loved and cared for them enough that you took care of this well in advance. You provided for them both emotionally and financially, and they didn't have to worry about a thing. And they will know that you took care of this very intentionally while you were alive, and that you did this for them at a time when you wouldn't be here, and you knew they would need you the most, even though you weren't here. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. What a wonderful gift of love. After you're gone, they will know that you love them. So go to funeralfunds.com. We've got these quotas on just about every page. You can also log in. We've got a free special link. It's free on funeralfunds.com/YouTube. That's for our YouTube viewers. You can call us at our toll-free number, 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you get pricing and help you find out what you qualify for. But we look forward to helping you get the best coverage at the lowest rate. Now, if you have an existing policy and you just want to price shop it to make sure you got the best deal, we can help you out with that. If you just want to add coverage to an existing policy, we can help you out with that. If you want brand new coverage, of course, we can help you out with that. And if you just want information or tips or help and want help finding out what you'll qualify for, we can help you out with that too. So we look forward to the day when we actually do get a chat with you and just assist you with this. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.